The rain-soaked streets were empty, the morning mist curling around parked cars when Officer Emily Parker heard it. A faint, desperate whine. Turning, she spotted a tiny German Shepherd puppy, trembling and covered in mud, following her with unwavering eyes. No matter how she tried to ignore it, the pup wouldn't leave her side, whining and pawing at her boots as if pleading for help. Emily knelt, heart-pounding, whispering, "It's okay, I'll help you." The little dog nudged her hand, refusing to back down. She scooped it up, warmth against her chest, unaware that this single act of compassion would lead her to a discovery so heart-wrenching, so life-altering. It would leave her in tears and change everything she thought she knew about loyalty and courage. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The morning sun cast a soft golden light across the sleepy suburban streets as Officer Emily Parker patrolled her usual route. The air was crisp, birds chirping softly, and everything seemed peaceful, until a faint, urgent sound cut through the calm. A high-pitched whine echoed behind her tires, and Emily glanced in the rearview mirror. A tiny German Shepherd puppy darted out from between parked cars, trembling and soaked from last night's rain. Its fur was matted with mud, and its bright eyes followed her every move, pleading silently. Emily slowed, stopping the patrol car. "Hey there, little one. What are you doing out here?" she whispered, kneeling on the wet pavement. The puppy yipped and pawed at her boots, refusing to back away. Each tiny step it took toward her made Emily's heart tighten. She reached down, gently scooping it into her hands. It nuzzled her fingers and whimpered again, looking almost desperate. Despite knowing she couldn't keep it in the station long-term, Emily felt an overwhelming sense of duty. This little creature needed her, and she couldn't turn away. Sliding into the car with the puppy cradled carefully against her chest, she whispered, "Don't worry, I've got you." Little did she know this small act of compassion would lead to a discovery so heartbreaking, so life-changing that it would stay with her forever. Back at the station, Emily placed the tiny German Shepherd puppy on a warm blanket inside the kennel area. It shivered violently, curling into itself as if trying to disappear from the world. Its fur was dirty, tangled, and streaked with mud, and Emily noticed small scratches along its legs. She knelt beside it, murmuring softly, "It's okay. You're safe now." The puppy, however, refused to leave her side. Every step Emily took, it followed closely, whining and pawing at her ankles. She tried to coax it toward food and water, but it ignored both, instead running to a corner of the room and sniffing anxiously. Something about its behavior suggested it was leading her somewhere, trying to communicate in the only way it knew. Curiosity mixed with concern, Emily realized the puppy wasn't just lost, it was desperate. She decided to follow it outside, letting it lead the way through the station yard. The small dog darted toward a secluded corner, stopping and barking, pawing at a patch of dirt near a fence. Its urgency was palpable, as if it knew a secret it had to show her. Emily knelt down, brushing rain-soaked strands of hair from her face. "All right, little one," she whispered. "Show me, what is it you're trying to tell me?" Emily followed the little German Shepherd puppy, now named Rexy, through a narrow back alley behind the station. Muddy footprints and scattered trash marked a path that led to a decrepit shed, hidden from view. The puppy's whining grew louder, urgent, insistent, urging her forward as if it knew exactly what awaited inside. She hesitated at the door, her heart pounding in her chest. Slowly, she pushed it open, the hinges creaking loudly. The sight inside made her stomach twist. Dozens of neglected puppies huddled together in a dark, filthy corner. Some were shaking, others whimpering, and a few had minor injuries, scratches, bruises, and cuts along their tiny bodies. The smell of dirt, urine, and fear was overwhelming. Rexy ran ahead, nuzzling each puppy as if comforting them, circling around to guide Emily's hands to those who needed attention most. Emily's eyes welled with tears as she gently lifted a shivering pup into her arms. Her uniform sleeve was soaked, but she didn't care. Each tiny creature she held carried the weight of abandonment and suffering. For the first time that morning, Emily understood. Rexy hadn't followed her randomly. He had led her here, to a place where innocent lives were depending on her compassion and courage. Emily's hands shook as she dialed the local animal rescue team, her voice trembling but urgent. "There are puppies. Abandoned. Some injured. Please, you have to come now." She hung up, glancing at Rexy, who barked softly, nudging a tiny pup with his nose. The little dog's insistence had led her here, and now it seemed to understand the importance of every second. Within minutes, a van pulled up, headlights cutting through the morning mist. 2 volunteers jumped out carrying blankets, food, and first aid supplies. Emily guided them to the shed, keeping a hand on Rexy's head as he darted ahead, barking, circling the frightened pups, urging them toward safety. Each movement was deliberate, protective, almost intelligent in its urgency. The rescue team quickly assessed the situation. Injured puppies were wrapped in blankets, dehydrated ones were fed small amounts of water, and the fearful huddlers were gently coaxed into carriers. Emily stayed close, whispering reassurance as tears streaked down her face. Every whimper, every shaky paw tugged at her heart, and she realized how much courage Rexy had shown by leading her here. As the last pup was carried to the van, the sky opened up with rain once more. Emily knelt beside Rexy, whispering, "You did it, buddy. You saved them all." The puppies were brought to a local animal clinic, their tiny bodies shivering as volunteers carefully placed them on warm blankets. Emily stayed nearby, holding Rexy close, her uniform damp and muddy from the morning's events. She watched as each pup was examined, some receiving bandages, others given fluids to combat dehydration. The sound of soft whimpers and gentle whines filled the room, mingling with the hum of medical equipment. One by one, the puppies began to respond to the care, blinking open, tired eyes and nuzzling for warmth. Rexy moved between them, protective and alert, circling each fragile body as though ensuring they were truly safe. Emily's heart ached at the sight of their suffering, yet swelled with hope as she realized how resilient these tiny creatures were. The clinic staff revealed a chilling truth. The puppies had been part of an illegal breeding operation, abandoned when they could no longer be sold. Emily's eyes welled with tears, both from relief and sorrow. Rexy had led her here, guiding her to save lives that would otherwise have been lost. Emily knelt beside the smallest pup, whispering softly, "You're safe now, thanks to you, Rexy." The tiny dog blinked up at her, tail wagging faintly, and in that moment she understood the true power of loyalty and courage. Weeks later, the clinic was filled with laughter and warmth as the rescued puppies thrived under care. Some had already been adopted, others remained, learning to trust humans again. Emily walked through the rows of cages, smiling as Rexy ran ahead, tail wagging, barking softly at the newly recovered pups. She knelt to stroke his fur, feeling the familiar bond they had forged that fateful morning. Emily had decided to adopt Rexy permanently, officially making him her canine partner. Together, they trained with the clinic volunteers, teaching the puppies basic commands, socialization, and confidence. Each day she watched them grow stronger, healthier, and more playful, their eyes no longer filled with fear but with curiosity and trust. One evening, Emily stood outside watching Rexy chase a tiny pup through the sunlit yard. A soft breeze carried the sound of playful yips and gentle laughter, blending with the warmth of the afternoon. She smiled through tears, realizing how one small act of kindness had led to so much hope and healing. As she looked down at Rexy, he barked once, nuzzling her hand. She whispered, "We did it, buddy. We saved them all." Sometimes even the smallest heroes guide us to the greatest miracles.